felt like he was trying to tell me to drop my nets. I remember standing in the parking lot. I was telling my wife this the other day. I was standing in the parking lot, and I had kind of had this really for a while, had this tugging on my heart that there was something more than, the store, the Writers Connection shop. And it really was in a very difficult time in my life. And I remember standing in the parking lot, going, God, what do you want me to do? And this is after I had, developed a relationship with God, and I had, served with the church, and I had served at the hospital, and I had just actually started. I guess it was probably 6 months, probably about 6 months into actually having the nonprofit. I just really having a deep moment with God in the parking lot in the middle of the day. And I felt like Peter. I felt like he was trying to tell me to drop my nets, and like the motorcycle shop was my crutch. It was all I knew. It's all I'd ever done. It was my way of life. It was my identity. And it was like, drop your nets, and follow me. Trust
Yeah.
me. Trust that this next move is the right move. And, for you, and you're just going to have to trust me here, and I'm thinking, I'm going to give up the only thing that I've got actually working for me and start all over at 42 years old. And I've got
Yeah.
people depending on me, too. And it was I mean, it was a daunting task, but at the same time, at that point in my life, I'd got to a place where I really, truly trusted. And, you know, I went, I went in back in the shop, and I made my decision then that I was just going to
Mm.
close it. I was done with
Yeah.
it. Um, but a gentleman walks in and literally asks, "Have I ever thought about selling this place?"
No way.
I was like, I looked at my coworker, and I mean, the hair on my arms is standing up. I was like, what is happening right now? And I was like,
Yeah.
well, I'll think about it.
Yeah.
Long story short, I gave the guy a number, and he cut me a check probably 2 weeks later, and we walked away from that store. And it was like all I had to do was trust what he was asking me to do and be willing to take that leap of faith out there with him. The doors flew open.